Well, hello there all you absolutely magnificent people, and welcome back to another live stream of An Ecologist Plays, where we talk about nature while playing games. Now, well, today we are playing a little bit something different. We are in Pax Augusta, which is a Roman-themed or Roman city builder. So it's a little bit different from what I usually play on the channel, but I have found a way to try and make it nature-themed. We are going to try and build a Roman city, and this game really is very realistic in the buildings that you can build and the way things would have worked, all kinds of stuff, and we'll look at that as we go on. But we are going to try and build it in as environmentally friendly way as possible. Hello there, Fire Duck. I see you are in chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream. Now, there should be a poll. If I'm not mistaken, there should be a poll open. For those of you that are watching, you can say where you would like to see me build my first city. So there are three options, I believe, there: along the coast, along the river, or somewhere on the plains. So I think if it is showing, please just click there to see what to say, to have a vote on where we should go and build. As you can see here, we've got a whole bunch of different languages actually supported so far, which is really, really brilliant. We are, of course, going to go in English. We are going to be starting a new career. There is a story mode, and there is a sandbox as well, where it's basically unlimited resources. You could just kind of build a bigger city as you possibly can. And then, interesting, although it doesn't really show it at the bottom here too clearly, but it does say it's a co-production of the four friends, Galba, Otto, Vitellius, and Vespasian. And those four were actually four emperors during the year 69 AD, which is the year of the four Roman emperors, because, well, within a 12-month period, there were four different Roman emperors, and this was just following the death of Nero. But although it says here it's the co-production of four friends, this game was actually developed by one person. He did outsource some of the things, some of the more technical stuff. He did outsource, but yeah, Roger basically made this game, and it's been a bunch of years in the coming, and it really is such a privilege to be playing this game. So Roger, if you see this at any point in time, please, you've done an amazing job. Like, really, perfect. All right, let's see here. I just want to quickly sit so that I can see all messages so I don't miss anything as we go on. There we go. And then we are going to start our new career. Now, we need a Roman name, and I'll be honest, I thought I was going to have a name thus far, but I do not. Let's see here. We are going to have, what shall we call ourselves? Loxodonta Romanus. You know what, why not? We are going to be the Roman elephant. That is what we are going to call ourselves, Loxodonta Romanus. So let's start with that. All right, so this is after the death of Julius Caesar. We've got Octavian, which we now call Augustus. He seized power, and there were two others, I believe Mark Antony, and then I can never remember the third guy's name. They formed the second triumvirate, I think it was called, to basically take revenge on the killers or the assassins of Caesar. So, of course, after Caesar's stabbing in the back by a whole bunch of people, so they basically swore to take revenge on everyone there. And Augustus, I believe, came out on top of the three of them, kind of became the big emperor. All right, so we've got three options we can choose here. And yes, Fireduck, the Roman elephant. Why not? I'm a big guy. May as well call ourselves the Roman elephant. Let's see here. We can choose between being frugal or not. We've got entertainer as another ability of ours here, and honesty. And we've got 5 points to spend. Entertainer gives 12% extra to entertainment, things like the arena and stuff like that. The frugal, the more you put in that, the less the construction costs. And honesty here, of course, reduces corruption. You know what? We are going to at least go for 1 point in being frugal, just to reduce the cost slightly. Not sure whether that does much, but anyway. We are going to bring entertainment down a bit and honesty up a bit. All right, so minus 6% to corruption, plus 6% to entertainment, and minus 2% to construction costs. And yes, indeed, Fireduck, the Loxodonta africana is the big African bush elephant. That's a really awesome big elephant. We also now recently have got the second African elephant described, which is the Loxodonta cyclotus, which is the African forest elephant, originally believed to be one species, but yeah, that's actually been split in two. And then we've got the Asian elephant, which is not actually in the Loxodonta genus. It is Elephantus, something along those lines. It's actually more like elephant in the name. I can never remember the name because, well, we don't have them in Africa, so I've never bothered to actually learn the scientific name. But yeah, there we go. We've got our little career set out, and this is the map. And you can see we can actually start a bunch of little cities, so or little settlements. Wherever we've got these pillars, we can start a settlement. So there's a river over there that we can start along. There's a coastline over there where we can start. This is somewhere in Europe. If we scroll down, there's a big river down there. If we scroll down, we should be able to, there's another river there. We should be able to actually get into Hispania. So basically nowadays Spain, or modern Spain. There we go. There's Hispania. We could also, if we really felt like torturing ourselves, we could go up past the Oceanus Britannicus, right over here. We can actually go and establish London. But that is an absolute, literally a swamp with a teeny tiny little piece of land that we can actually build. All right, so let's see, where have we got the votes in for where to build? Okay, so no votes, it seems. Oh, there is one vote. Okay, there is one vote. Though I cannot actually see the thing. Let's see. I think I should be able to just quickly change here. Sorry guys, I just need to quickly sign in so I can actually see what on earth is happening. My word. For some reason, OBS says now I must sign in again to actually see what the poll says. And then we'll should be able to carry on. Go. Alrighty. Oh, I must apparently just also say it is me, you know, all this extra security we've got to put in just so we don't get hacked and stuff like that. Alrighty, and now I should be able to see, please. There we go. I am this guy. Oh yes, so this morning, which was really, really awesome, I woke up and found that we now have 1,900 subscribers on the channel, which is magnificent. So to all of you out there, thank you so much for being part of this amazing journey that I'm honored to do with all of you. All right, let's see. I see, Fardak, you say that you voted for the river, but it's between rivers and plains. I think actually establishing along a river makes a lot of sense because you technically would have a lot of trade happening along these big rivers as well. So let's look for one of the settlements along a big river. So there is a river flowing here. I don't see any, no, there's no option for us to actually build along it there. Let's see, where are we? We are over here. There we go. There should be, right around here, there should actually be a city. No, there's one by the ocean there. And then there's one by a little river there, but I would like one along a big river because big rivers, obviously it's a good source of water. It's a nice source of food. If you've got fish, for example, you can get that. Oh, this is the end of the board. You know what? There is an option that once we actually look here, is it with graphics, show clouds on the world map. Okay, let's remove that so we can kind of see a little bit. Okay, I thought we were going to see a little bit better. I thought I changed that, didn't I? Graphics. No, I did change that, but okay, it's still, we can still see a bit of clouds there. Somewhere along the river should be, there we go, there's one along the river. I think let's go and build there, shall we? All right, but yeah, along the river and the plains should, I think, be relatively big settlements or big areas to actually build. If you've got a designated area you can build in, you can't build outside of that. With a river, we'll get food or potential for food with the fishing. We've got the trade that can come along the river there. And overall, you generally establish your first settlement along a stream, along a river, because that's a good source of water, preferably, hopefully, good water, not polluted water. Depending on what you've got upstream, if you've got a big city upstream, yeah, then there's a good chance, of course, it is going to be polluted a bit. But we are going to hope that by this time there wasn't a lot of pollution happening. We've got to be careful. There are some bandits around in the areas as well. Thankfully, we did not encounter any bandits there. Here we go. There's our little guy. Come on, make your way up to the river over here. There's a nice settlement on the river here. I think they... Oh, I was heading to that one. Nah, you know what? We're going to head to this one. It's close to a city that has a merchant for marble. Okay, good stuff. We can get a bunch of stuff on the way here, but we'll talk about that as we carry on. Here we go. Let's give a name to our little village. Now, we would like a Roman sounding name. We are going to start a city. We're going to technically start a little settlement for a villa. So you know what? We're going to call it Villa Ecologia. Basically, the ecology village. That's what we're going to call it. We can give some money to the city. We've got a personal wealth of 300, which is okay. It's good to start with. I think I actually made it easy. I was going to start on normal difficulty, but there we go. yeah, the potential for trade and fishing is why they chose river instead of plains. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I like a river system next to our river. Let's start Villa Ecologica. And of course, it's quite fun, all these little messages saying that the augurs are observing the flight of the birds to determine if this is a good place to establish a settlement. And the birds are already flying, but apparently no clear sign has been seen yet. But in actual fact, what is happening is the city map is loading. So when we go between the city map and the world map, there is a bit of a loading time, which makes sense. I mean, it takes some time to load all the things. Also, vertex stili acquitur postia texta scribi potest. I misplaced the stylus. Please wait. Oh, I love Latin. It's sad that it's actually a dead language, mostly. Latin et lingua mortua est. Latin is a dead language. Let's see, as the governor appointed by the emperor for this province, I grant you the right to establish a new colony. My surveyors need a moment more. Once everything is surveyed, you can start. And we can, of course, start. And here comes a little barge with some supplies for us. We've got nothing in the bank yet. And this is the area that we can build. Okay, so right up here, this is the Colonia border with Ager Publicus. I think that's public land over there. We can't build there. We can build in this area, all the way down here, up to this clay pit over here. And then here goes the border as well. And it goes all the way along here. And I think just up to this section over here. A little bit of land on that side of the river as well. The majority of land we can actually build in is in this large section over here. Now what we get to place down first are the two main streets, the Cardo Maximus and the Decumanus Major. So these are the two crossroads, the big roads that typically were found in a Roman city. Any houses built along those main roads actually do better, or they have greater happiness, and they also will have a give you more income, more tax that they will also pay. So it's quite important to build some houses along those those capital streets, or those main streets, the main roads. All right, so we are going to have to consider that as we go along. Now, what we can also do is we can press K and it shows you all the buildable area, or we can press L, which I think should tell us, is that K? Oh, no, K also shows us there we can harvest some timber there. It does not yet show us whether there are any areas where there'll be flooding. So there can be floods in the game. I've never encountered the floods, not yet at least. But I would suspect most of the flooding would happen along the river. We're also going to try and keep the amount of buildings next to the river as low as possible. I mean, again, trying to build it in a ecologically fashioned way. We are going to try to avoid building right up next to the river, which isn't really what they would have done. They would have really built up right next to the river. So we are going to be a little bit less scientifically accurate in terms of that, but we are going to, nonetheless, the main idea is we're going to try and build as ecologically friendly as possible. I can see there is a road over there that we can potentially connect to, or will be able to connect to eventually. There is also one up there, and we will need to connect. Oh, there's also one. Okay, thankfully there is one on our island. That is also good. We will need to connect to the main trade routes coming in, because we will need trade coming into the city, and we will need to eventually get slaves as well. So, of course, slavery in the Roman Empire was a big thing. They got slaves from all over the show, and we'll talk about that, I'm sure, as we carry on. There is a tribe of people over there. We are not going to kick them out at all. We can, but we are not going to. We'll talk about that as we go along. So there, our main roads are Cardo Maximus and our Decumanus Maximus, right over there. And what we get to place now is basically the town center, the altar that the whole city will be built around, in essence. So we're going to place it a little bit off the main road. I think right around here should be good. Yeah, I think that's a good spot to build it. All right. Now, we've got, what's this guy's name again? I want to call him Vitruvius, but I don't think he is Vitruvius. There's a guy, no, he's a land surveyor. Okay, so we can get him. I'm just going to take turn the grid off there. We've got our land surveyor over here, and he will be walking around, and then when he stops, he scans, and look at that. We've got a place for a harbor, and we've got a place where there'll be lots of fish that we can also eat. And right over here, we're going to have him scanning around. The idea is he'll be looking for things like iron. There's an iron deposit over there. We can bring him over here, and we can get him to actually scan. And, oh, look, there's iron over here. We can get some iron and stuff like that. Or we can get him to come... once we've built a bridge over here, we can get him to come to the clay pit over here. And then we can get bricks and stuff like that made. All right, so we are going to have to make a bridge at some point because we can't make the proper houses without bricks. So we're going to have to get some brickworks over done on this side. Now we also need actual streets. So let's get that going, shall we? We're just going to get the normal main road going over here. Just a little gravel road. It's the cheapest of the lot. And we're just going to mark out our little crossroads over here, around which the buildings will be built. Okay. Alrighty. Now, can we see where there we go. Flood warning. Flood warning over here. This is, of course, when the river is in flood, it will flow into this area. Oh, look at that, where the clay pits are. Oh, we're going to have flooding in that area as well. And, of course, this island, basically a flood hotspot as well. No other floods except for on that side. Okay, this island of ours, mostly fine, actually, which is brilliant. All right. Now, we also need, once we have people, of course, the people are going to die. We need to bury the dead. So what we're going to do is we're going to build that outside of town, mostly outside of town. Right as people come in, they're going to go, oh, look, there's a graveyard right there where everybody is. Sorry, let's turn it around to that. People coming into the town. Oh, I built 2. I was only going to build 1, but okay, never mind. People coming into town will go, oh, look, dead people everywhere. We also need a bit of a burial ground. There we go. That should last us quite a while. And then I guess we can actually start getting people. Now, what we first have, we can see here. Oh, okay, yes, thank you. We have access to the strip house. This is the first little house we can get. Oh, and sorry, before we actually do that, let's get our little land surveyor just to come and make contact with the local people. Now, we've got a strip house over here, and we can decide what size we want. We can get a 5x2 one, which gives us 10 people actually staying in there, and an income of 8 once it is fully occupied. We've got a 5x3, which gives us an income of 12 instead of 8, and 15 people will stay there. 7x2, 14 people, 11.2 income tax. So we want as many people as possible staying, at least initially. So what we are going to do is we are going to have, I think we're going to have this house over here. Then we are going to build a well, because the people need water. Without water, yeah, you can't have civilization. So there is a river over there, and of course there will be some water underground, and we're just tapping into that with our well, pardon the pun. We're just going to build another one of these houses. It takes a while to build. In the meantime, our land surveyor over here is going to make contact with the locals. And then we can tax them, basically. We can either get food from them or money. There we go. We can decide, do we want 11 money from them, denarii, or do we want 7 food per week? Well, that 7 food is moderate. Okay, so that's an average amount we can get. It's not great. The 11 denarii would actually be great because we are going to battle perhaps a little bit initially getting money. I'm just going to pause the game there for a bit. But the great thing about food is this village will constantly give us food, even in the harsh winter months when our food production goes down. So it's a bit of a toss-up. Like, do we go for the one or the other? one or the other. So I think, let's see, what do you guys think? Food or taxes? What should we go for? Again, like 11 denarii isn't great either. This is completely randomized. So sometimes you'll get where it's like 20-something food per week, and it's like, clearly we're going to go for that one. Or 20-something denarii, and it's a clear winner, that one. But now it really is a toss-up. Neither one of these two are great, but we've got to say, okay, what do we want from them? Sure, it's a tough one. Let's see. While you guys are letting me know, I'm just going to drink a bit of coffee as well. Lifeblood of academia coffee, that's for sure. Okay, I think I don't see anything in chat yet. I may have missed a message. Let me just double check here. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, so if I would like you say you don't know, flip a coin. Okay, I don't even have a coin on me, which is quite sad. You know what? Let's go for denarii. Yeah, we're going to go for a bit of tax. Okay, so now our expenses are 1. Okay, but we are soon going to get 11 income per week, which is all right. That's good to start with. Okay, and then of course, as these villages or these houses are starting to be built, they're going to have people moving into them, and things are going to look up for us there. We're going to have a bit of variation. We're going to have a 7x2 house over here as well. Then we're going to plop down just another well. So these wells require 1 denarii per week to maintain them. So the more wells you have, the more it costs. The more buildings you have overall, the more it will cost to maintain. We're going to have, I think, 1 more 5x3 house right over here. And I think then just 1 more 7x2 house. And that should give us our nice first bunch of people staying here. Now, the problem is they need food. We are going to try to be as self-sufficient as possible. And luckily, one of the things we can do, and this was very important to the Romans as well, was backyard gardens. We're going to plop down some backyard gardens. And you can see this one gives us 2 food per week. So for each one of these little 4x1 little gardens, we get 2 food per week. Now, this is not enough to maintain our settlements. We're going to have a nice bigger one over there. And the idea is, for me at least, I don't just want to put these big ones up, even though that is going to give us the most food. I want variety, because variety breeds diversity, or diversity breeds resilience, basically. So if we can put a bunch of different gardens up, maybe we'll have one like this. So we'll have a look at them in a moment. Then we'll have, I think, one like this. And we'll have another one that looks like this. And another one that looks like, oh, I don't know, this over here. Yeah, and then a big one stretching down here. And then maybe a small one, a 4x1 over there. Okay, so we'll have a look at the diversity of crops we are growing in a moment, why that is actually important in terms of doing things ecologically. Let's just quickly have a look here. Are these people happy? No, there is not enough market, or there are not enough market stalls. So let's have a look here. This radius is important because all the people in this radius will be very, very happy. As you go to the outer radius, they become a little bit unhappier, and outside of this big radius, they're just going to be very, very unhappy. Now, what we are going to do is we're going to build our market outside of this big radius so that we can build some houses along here, but out here it's really going to be horrible to build. So let's build our market. People now have to travel quite far to get to the market, but you know what, that is all right. As the building is loading there, it says construction plans have been sent to Rome. So it's quite nice the fact that they do say, oh, this is why it's taking a little bit to load. We need the admin building, and you know what, I want the entrance right over there. So there's our little admin building for our market, and we're just going to plop down some markets. How many Liberty can we have? So the Liberty will be living in the little strip houses. Each one of these markets will supply market or shopping for 15 Liberty, or 15 people. So that means we've got 73, which means we need 5 stalls at least to actually keep everyone happy. You know what, I'm just going to turn that around. So we've got 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's good. And just a bit of open space as well in front there. So that's going to be built. People are going to be happy. There's a market space for them. Yay. But another thing that is, of course, very important is religion. And we are going to be building that as well. Religion as well as administration. That will be very, very important. So we're just going to as soon as the construction, there we go, has loaded, we're going to just start by having a nice little square around our altar over here. So this altar here, and if we just go into photo mode, you can see this little altar over here. It's actually based on a specific altar that the developer looked at and used to design this altar. So all these buildings, a lot of them, at least, especially the bigger ones, the forum and stuff like that, is based on actual buildings that form part of Roman ruins, which is really, really amazing. Now let's talk about what I've got going on in the backyard here. Now, behind the houses, we currently have 34 food being produced per week. We're not even using any food at the moment because we only have one person. This one person is like, hello, I am here, lots of food for me. Right, so we're going to talk about them in a moment. I guess, there we go, the forum is being built. Are you guys happy yet? Yes, satisfaction is increasing. They've got market stalls, they've got enough empty graves, they have got water, and they are connected to the road. The problem is the road is not a city street. So let's just quickly upgrade that. They like living on city streets because it's easier to walk. I think you can later on, you can build the sidewalks there. So you can upgrade it. But here we go, the backyard gardens. if we just had, what have we got here? I think this is wheat. Let's have a look here. What is this? Yeah, I think this is, this looks like wheat. Yeah, you can see here wheat stalks here, basically a grass that was cultivated by humans. But if you look at the wheat here, if we just had wheat fields here, this would have been a monoculture. Mono meaning one culture being, cultivated. So one crop being cultivated. And first of all, if you have a monoculture, it becomes very easy for pests to actually attack that monoculture. And you have a certain beetle, for example, attacking a certain plant. And if it's just that plant being planted everywhere, that beetle has a field day, just going crazy. But if you have a bit more of variety, you've got a polyculture, poly meaning many, and culture being what you are growing. If you, for example, have little cabbages and wheat and some, most likely, olive trees. Yeah, this looks like olive trees, maybe a plum. And this is apple. I think these are actually apples over here. Okay, apple trees. And maybe you've got some carrots, or what have we got down there? This looks like beans. Beans or lettuce, actually. That looks like a type of lettuce, a wild lettuce. A bunch of different crops being grown. Then it becomes a little bit more difficult for the specialized pest to actually find the thing that they want to eat. If you, for example, have brassicas, so cabbages and radishes and turnips and cauliflower and broccoli, all those, if you just plant them, it's very easy for the cabbage white butterfly to actually find your things, your cabbages, and lay their eggs on it. But if you've got the cabbages mixed with asparagus, mixed with wheat, mixed with beans, mixed with a whole bunch of different things, it becomes more difficult for those insects that rely on scent, and sometimes sight as well, to find the thing they want to lay their eggs on. So you've got a greater resistance against pest if you've got a bunch of different crops being grown. Also, in terms of sustainability for our little village here, if it is a bad year for whatever, let's say wheat, for example, due to the climate either being too dry or too wet or too cold or too hot, if the weather conditions during a certain season just wasn't what you hoped for, then even though the wheat here died and was a catastrophe, no harvest from them, you still have all the other plants you could harvest food from. So even if one crop does poorly, at least your overall garden will still provide you with food. That's the idea with polyculture. It's why it is generally a good thing to have, not just don't put all your veggies in one basket, in essence. All right, so we've got that going over here, and we've got a lot of food coming in. The problem is, eventually, we're going to have a problem. We're going to have winter coming along, and none of these crops will actually supply us with food anymore, and that is bad. So what we are going to do is we are going to put up a little storage. We are going to put up a horium being a food storage place. So I'm going to, I think, where's the altar range? I want to put it outside of this. You know what? Let's put it next to the market. Let's put it next to the market. That kind of makes sense to me. We're going to have the food over here. And we're going to plop down 2 of these. So we can then, I think, store 500 food, which should be more than enough to last us through the winter. We're not going to be able to reach 500 food before winter hits us, but at least we'll have some food. All right. In terms of our finances, we are using 30 denarii per week, and we are getting 42.2, which is brilliant. At only half, or less than half, of a little bit more than half, the spaces in our houses are actually filled. Now, what we're going to have now, though, we're going to need someone actually administering the horium, keeping track of the food. Food coming in, food going out, how much food have we got? And that means we need an administrator. And that's, it's starting to rain. And that's where we're going to have our forum building coming in here. So what we are going to have here is we're going to have this little forum building built. And we are going to need 1 administrator, in essence, per horium. So we're going to need 2 forum buildings built. We're just going to attach this one, and it's all modular, and you'll see that as we go on, the forum is modular. You can really mold it and have it looking like a big building. Okay, so that's quite cool. We'll see that in a moment. All right, let's see what will be next. We need a lot of villagers to actually get quite a bit of money in, and then there we go. It says not enough scriptoria available on the forum. So as soon as these are built, you can see here, we need 2 scriptoria. We currently have 0 scriptoria. Each one of these little buildings here will give us a scriptorium. A scriptoria, of course, being the plural of scriptorium. So basically a scribe, a person keeping track of the food. which is really, really brilliant. Oh, we have this little guy. Really needs to go and have a look. Our little surveyor needs to go and have a look and see if there's any food, any fishing that can be done up here. So I do know we've got a nice spot for fishing down here, somewhere right over here. There's also a nice space for a harbor over there. So that is quite good. Okay. Now later on, we are going to have to build, well, not too long from now, not too long. We need to build a wood cutter, so that we can actually start getting timber as well. Site for a bridge construction. Okay, so this is a good spot to build a bridge to get to the other side there. Why did the Romans build bridges? To get to the other side, of course. Alrighty. Let's see, how's our money looking? So we've got 600 denarii already. I think what I'm going to do, if we go to management, I would like to start getting my own salary. So I'm going to apply. I would like to get, let's say 5, no, actually, because I think this actually comes from my city's income. It pays my salary. I'm going to apply to get 3. Yeah, I'm going to apply to get 3 denarii per week. Okay, and this is now where corruption comes in. Another suitable spot for building bridges. Thank you, Mr. Land Surveyor. Let's just have a look over there as well. So a lot of things in the game, you need to bribe the right officials to actually get things done. Very similar to politics in real life. It's who you know that is important. Let's actually start building another little forum building here. So you can see here. Oh my god. Okay. Oh man, that's bad. Okay. I had it wrong. I thought this was going to look nice there, but no, it's actually, I built the center part the wrong way around. Oh man, I'm going to delete that in a moment. Okay, so let's get this one sorted in there. And as soon as that one is built, we're just going to delete the gate and actually build that one again. So it looks nice because you can kind of see there, the roofs don't line up. If I had this one the right way around, it would have lined up very, very nicely. It really looks great, I must say. It's nice. I love the fact that it is quite modular, all the buildings. Vitruvius, you haven't found anything? No, nothing else. Okay, just scan over here for us. I don't think there's anything on the map here. Really, only along the river here. We'll get a nice spot to build a bridge, I think, over here. Here we go. So, we've got the governor. Salve, in my role as governor, I have reviewed your concern. So, you want to adjust your salary. Well, if I do not agree, Rome will not approve the salary either. Perhaps you can convince me to support your salary request. We can reject the bribery attempt and try to appeal to the integrity of the governor. And maybe he will decide, yeah, sure, give you the money, or maybe he won't. Or we can give him a small gift, and maybe he will, and maybe he won't. Or we give him a bigger gift, and he's almost guaranteed to say, yes, you can have your salary increased to 3 denarii per week. But we take a hit for our reputation because, you know, we openly indulging in bribery. So we're just going to go for the small one. Okay, the governor approves your salary. You can submit a change request in a year at the earliest. So now for a year, our salary is fixed. And every week, we are going to get 3 denarii added to our personal wealth, which is great. Okay, Vitruvius, our little land surveyor, come and have a look here. Tell us, yes, you can build a bridge over there for us, so we know we can. And then we need to just go and scan up there for the iron, so we know we can get iron over there as well. We've got a lot of money. Oh, yes, the money is starting to roll in here, which means I am going to start building the wood production. So you see here, the lumberjack, it costs us 8 denarii per week. It will give us 7 wood per week, and we need 1 scriptorium at the forum. But you can't just have the lumberjack, you need the wood processing as well, which will cost us 16 denarii per week. It will also require 1 scriptorium at the forum, and then we need a wood warehouse, which also requires 1 scriptorium and costs us 5 denarii per week. So in total, this will cost us 30 denarii per week just to have 1 production, or 1 lumberjack production set up. And currently, that will take our expenses up to 53 of the 69.4 that we're actually getting in. So it's going to really dramatically increase the amount of money we are going to need to, or we're going to spend per week. How's our food looking? Okay, you see, we are clearly in winter. We don't know that yet because we don't have a calendar at our forum. But once we build that, we can actually keep track of the seasons. Currently, no food being produced and 6 food being consumed per week. This should be enough to last us at least 20, a little bit more, 27 weeks, more or less. That's quite a bit of food, thankfully. Right, and our houses are basically, it is full, 73 of 73 spaces occupied. So let's actually build a bit more, a few more houses. Let's get some more strip houses in here. I'm actually going to, again, build here and build another house over there, and I think another 7x2. 7x2 over here, and then we're just going to put a well. Let's put a draw well over here. Yeah, this is actually a nice bigger well. It gives us a bigger radius, and one well should cover all 3 houses over here, which is going to be great. And then, of course, as always, let's get some food production. Once the spring rolls around, we will be able to get a bit of food being produced here as well. Let's get a nice big plot over here. Let's look for a, no, there's a house, not a garden over there. Let's get another little one over here. We'll get a, let's go for that one over here. We can go for this one, really going for variety here. That's the name of the game for me at the moment. We can get a 4x1 in here. That's going to be good. Nice bunch of veggies there. And I think another one like this over here. And I think a 2x2 and a 4x1 right over there. Okay, so with 3 houses, we've got a bunch more food being produced. Let's have a look here. Currently, food production, okay, we won't see, but currently it's 10 being produced. I was hoping we could actually really see an increase here, but we can check here. This produces 1 food per week, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, not too important. Not too important. What is important? The taxes. Oh, the lovely taxes. To get people again to move in more quickly here, we are going to just switch over to a city street over here. Just build it as far as that house is, right over here, along the Decumanus Maximus over there. Okay. Now, how many scriptoria do we need? We need 2. We've got 3. So I can finally delete this accidental forum over there. And let us get the gate the right way around, shall we? Not that way, that way. Look at that. That is just going to blend in seamlessly. And then we're going to get another one. I think that's the right one. Yeah, that is the right one. Actually, let's get 2 in like that, because the 3 scriptoria we are adding here will be enough for our wood production that we are going to set up here. More market stalls needed. People are moving in. People are moving in. That is marvelous. All right, soon we are going to have to start getting the slave market also set up. So we are going to be looking at that in a moment. Let's twist that one around like that. You know what? Let's set this one out like that. This one, I think we can have people looking at that over there. That over there. That over there. Okay, that should be more than enough. Yeah, that's for 165 people, and we'll have a maximum of 117 people when everybody has actually moved in. Okay. Let's see. So, when the Romans, and the Roman Empire was really a massive, massive empire, when they conquered not new civilizations, but when they conquered nations, of course, either people were put to the sword and killed, or they were taken back to the empire as slaves. And this happened, wherever the Romans went in and took over nations, lots and lots and lots of slaves also being exported. Hello there, Aussie. Welcome to the stream. Glad you are here with us for a bit of a Roman city building episode today, or live stream today. Of course, as part of, there we go, I accidentally went too far here. As part of, getting the slaves in, of course, they were sold, and those slaves were from all over the Roman Empire, all the way from like North Africa, the Baltics, all the way to Asia Minor, wherever they had their dominion. Yeah, slaves came from there. Gaul as well, in particular, Britain, a little bit in Britain as well, but I don't really know a lot exactly what happened in Britain with the Romans. I know the Romans were there. Gaul, of course, really hammered by the Romans, except, of course, if you had Asterix and Obelix with you, then you weren't hammered at all. But what we are going to have now is a slave market being set up. Again, it needs a scriptorium. So 1 scriptorium in the forum, and it's going to cost us 4 denarii per week. And that'll be fine. That'll be fine. How many scriptoria have we got? Have we got enough? Got 3 extra. Yeah, those 3 extra will be for the woodcutters. Okay, so let's actually plop down a different one. Let's plop down another one over here. And another forum segment over there. And then we're going to plop down the slave market. And we're going to have the slave market over here close to where the trade route is. They can just easily come in and voila. So let's have that. We're going to try to have as few slaves as possible. We're not really going to be excessive in terms of that, but we are going to, for some of the things like the mining of marble, we are going to need some slaves. Also, for religious purposes, for when we start building the temples here, we are going to need some slaves as well. I think the normal shrine does not actually need a slave or slaves, but the Gallo-Roman temple needs 2 slaves. Oh, the shrine actually does need 1 slave for this, 2 slaves for the Gallo-Roman temple, and as you go up to the Portinus temple, this will need 45 slaves. Sheesh. At the temple area, yeah, I don't know. I also think 45 slaves. So yeah, lots of slaves you will need for that. Now we are going to have now, as part of the slave market here, we are going to have to, I think, get some. That's a central market. We are going to need, there we go. We're going to need some cages as well. Oh, that's the market stall. No, there we go. There's a cage. This takes, it requires 6 scriptoria. No, that's too many. Yeah, I think that's a smaller one. Again, we're going to try to have as few as possible. But now that we've got the slave market going and we've got the cages, well, as soon as they are built, let's just speed up time a bit here. As soon as they are built, we are going to have, there we go. No, that's not one of the slave wagons. There we go. There's a slave wagon coming with some slaves from elsewhere in the empire coming to our little market area over there. And then we can actually buy 2 and we can use them in the temple area. And the temple really will be great. It makes everybody happier, especially for later on when you start building a little bit outside this green circle over here. It makes everybody happier. Let's see here. Everybody here is like really happy. So that's good. So citizens coming along, 101 of 117 villages or liberty that are there. Okay, so for the first time, we've got 100 inhabitants living in our settlement. Congratulations, word is already spreading in Rome that a capable administrator is at work here. Your reputation increases by 2 points. Yay! Now, reputation and personal wealth is important because we can run for office and we can actually get the rank of Keister or Aedile or Praetor or Censor or Consul. And there are a bunch of benefits like increased salary and stuff like that that comes with your rank, with your position, your political position that you have. So we are going to run for Keister in a moment once we have 360 wealth, personal wealth. Oh, wait a minute. We can run. Here we go. Right on cue. Let's run for office, shall we? Let's see. The augurs have performed auspices. It seems the gods are sending a clear sign. Your candidacy is favored by the gods. So let's run for office. Sent to Rome, and in 1 or 2 weeks, you can visit any post office in the empire. Okay, so we are going to have a look. We are currently, I don't know in what week. We are in a week. We'll go in a little bit. We'll go and find out whether we actually became the Keister or not. We'll see in a moment. All right. Let's see. Hope you all are really having a lovely weekend. We spent the day with my mother-in-law and family, which was really fun. And now I am back. Nick is still visiting her mother, and I am the only one actually like here. And of course, I am streaming, which is a lot of fun. Really great to be here with you. And I do see the irony in actually doing a live stream of a Roman city builder on Easter weekend. There's a bit of irony in there. All right, let's now see I would like to actually designate an area as a protected area. Now, it makes sense to actually have the area where there's going to be flooding. That's, that is a wetland area. We're going to obviously try and protect that as much as possible. But I also would like to have a bit of biodiversity closer to the city as well, because these natural areas are going to be very, very important as corridors, technically for birds and insects and mammals and all kinds of things to move through the area. So we're going to try and keep, I think, this area here intact as possible, not going to expand to this area. And we're also not going to expand, we're not going to push out the natives here, the indigenous, the local people. There we go, locals, that's the term. We're not going to push out the locals. We're not going to build in the wetlands. I've got to set myself some restrictions in order to actually build a sustainable city. Now, if we do look at where we can build a lumberjack, oh, there are some options. Oh, there's one on the other side of the bridge there, on the river. We can't get there yet. We can build over here, which is, okay, here we can build. This is outside the wetland area. And then there is there another one over here? There's an area here we can build. Oh, and this area over here. Okay, so 2 areas over here. Yeah, that's it. And then the one on the other side there. But that really is in the wetland area. So what we do in South Africa is wetland delineation. It is done all over the world, but I know in South Africa we do it quite a bit. Which is you look where wetlands are. And you're not allowed to build in depends on how sensitive the wetland is, a 20 to 50 meter radius of that wetland. So what we're going to do is we've got the wetland that extends over here. We can only build from here. Oh, ore deposit found. Thank you very much. Metal ore. Thank you. We can only build over here away from this wetland. We're not allowed to build within this wetland area. Okay, so let us hope that we can actually build a lumberjack. Yes, we can. We can plop it right over here. This is going to be away from the wetland, far enough that our impacts are limited. And we're just going to see, okay, if I want to build it right over here, I need the little road running from over here. Okay, so right over there to this side. Right over there. Okay, now let's get the gravel road. I think it was over here. No, but we're going to build it down. No, we have to. Unfortunately, we're going to have to bulldoze that tree over there. Actually, we can do it like that. There we go. And link it up with that road over there. And then we can start with our wood production. So a lumberjack will come right over here. Yeah, right over here. It's far enough away from the wetland. Our lumberjacking impacts will not impact the river. If I had any say, I would also say that none of the trees directly around the wetland may be harvested. So it's only, the lumberjack is only allowed to harvest trees over here. Now the trees actually aren't harvested, so it's not used up, which is great, because otherwise we really would be in a world of pain over here. But it's technically going to only harvest the trees in that area over there. Because the trees growing next to the wetland forms part of the riparian zone. Part of the zone that, the leaves falling off those trees have an impact on the ecology of the wetland. It's bringing in nutrients into the wetland. It's important for the invertebrates and the fish and stuff living in this wetland to sustain them. So we're not going to, and of course, if you remove the trees here, it's going to result in runoff or erosion. Sediment's going to wash into the wetland, more sediments than it naturally would get. So yeah, we don't want that either. As an ecologist, we don't want that. Now, this wood processing plant takes a lot of space. We are going to plop him right on the border here. So people coming into our settlement can be in awe of our wood processing facility and our graveyard, because why not? And then we're also going to store some wood. Now, how are our finances looking? Yeah, quite good, quite good. Okay, wood storage. Don't think it fits in here. It just won't fit in there. Okay, so wood storage has to come over there. Okay, that will at least store quite a bit of wood. Now let's see, this little guy over here, the lumberjack, he should now be cutting trees, and of course he's using saws and axes. There we go, that tree actually it was felled. Okay, cool. I hope it doesn't use up all the trees. That would be quite bad if we do use up all the trees there. Okay, but he's going to chop down the trees. The trees are going to be going to this wood production facility over here. And then once it has been processed, formed planks in essence, it's going to come over here to our wood storage once, that is built. Okay, now I really need to build a calendar. That is going to be the next thing we need. So let us first just expand our forum a bit. Oh, Lord, we the inhabitants of the settlement are somewhat concerned. The food supplies are always quite scarce. We would be pleased if you could store at least 1,000 units of food within the next 50 weeks, regardless of whether it is summer or winter. The main thing is that we feel safe. In 50 weeks, we will check the stock again. Oh, okay, fine. We will give you what you want. We will put up 3 more wood storages over here. So let us just put up 3 more small horiums. That should allow us to technically have 1,250 food stored. Okay, because we are producing currently a lot of food, which is great. That really is marvelous. Okay, we want to continue building or expanding our forum over here. I think this is the one that looks nice. Yeah, there we go. Right over there. And we're going to, I think, plop it down here. We'll see in a moment. And then we'll plop this one down like that. And then we hope that it looks nice this way around. We'll see in a moment. How many do we need? 8 scriptoria, 9, 10, 11 in essence. Okay, that should be enough right over there. Okay. Now, what we can also now do, and this is what I wanted to do, is the extensions of our forum over here. We can, and let us actually just quickly plop down some more squares over here. Okay. What we can do now is we can... Yes. We can put an extension, and we're going to put the calendar over there. And by building the calendar, we can keep track up here, and we can see what week we are in and all those lovely things. While this is being built, you know what? We really need to go and find out whether we got the position, whether we became the keystone of the area. So let's just go on to the provincial road, and then we'll travel along the world and see whether we got the job, in essence. Hopefully we did, fingers crossed, because that will give us 3 money per week. Oh, no, sorry, no, it won't give us, we already get 3 money per week, 3 denarii per week. It will give us potentially, I think, up to 10 or 15 denarii per week, which will be great. Now, we are right over here. This is Villa Ecologia. Now, the post offices, there are some U-shaped buildings on the map. I'm just trying to see if I can find one. We can go to one of the big post offices and find out whether we got the job. Now, usually they are quite close to one of the big cities. It's not that. I'm pretty sure it's not that. Okay. There we go. There's a post office right over there. So we are just traveling along the road, and we're going to find out now. I wonder whether that is also the red thing I saw around here somewhere. There was a little red marker over there. I wonder whether that is actually a post office. It may be. Let's go here. I think it's still a bit closer to where we are. Yeah, I know. Somewhere. All right, so if you guys have any suggestions of what you would like to see me also build or talk a bit more about, please do drop it down in the chat as well, and then I'll happily talk a bit more about that as well. Right, so here we go. Now that we're off the main road, our little travel wagon is quite slow. Okay, but hopefully this is a post office. Let's see. Oh, in this city there exists a tavern where the innkeeper offers dice games in a back room. We could go and gamble, but I'm not going to gamble now. Okay, so that wasn't the post office. This is a post office. Okay, so now again, since we are off the main road, we are going to be traveling quite slowly. Hello, Cinnamon. Little Cinnamon, our little cat, is here begging for food, and she is quite wet. It is raining quite nicely here where we are at the moment, which is absolutely lovely. Interesting that it was faster to travel on the main road there. Let's see. The Senate, under the watchful eye of the Emperor, convened and reviewed the applications for office. It was decided that the application of Loxodonta Romanus is the best. Therefore, it is decreed that Loxodonta Romanus, the Roman elephant, shall officially bear the title Quaestor from now on. Oh, brilliant. We are now Quaestor Loxodonta Romanus. Love that. Okay, let's go back. That wasn't our town. Where is... Oh, there we go. There is Villa Ecologica. Or Ecologia. Let's head back on over there. Okay, bye, Cinnamon. Apparently, the map we are in is the river delta. We can establish more cities. We can establish one over there as well. We can establish one in Hispania, one in Gaul, one along the Gallic coast. That is this one a little bit up, I think. I think it is the one... No, it was a little bit lower down. Never mind. There's one, the Gallic coast. There's a great river. There's the gentle coast. There's a swamp. That's London, in essence, we can establish. There's the Great Plain, and there is the island as well. Okay, here's our travel wagon. It is traveling north, traveling up to our Villa Ecologia. Okay, we unfortunately can't actually make the travel wagon travel faster. We just have to wait for it. And there we go. We can now go back into our little town and continue building. Marvelous, marvelous, marvelous. Wunderbar. Okay, so I love the fact that when it's loading the terrain here, it says a few Pannonian slaves are busy working the terrain with shovels and picks. As they are finished, you can proceed. Please have some patience. And then just in case you thought it wasn't a joke, it's like, you know, the terrain is loading. And every time we come back after a while, it gives us a short summary. Some time ago, construction was done at the forum, as indicated by the reports of the administrative officer responsible for the constructions. The last known event was tampered dice were found in the tavern. So usually, you know, that's the one. I haven't seen anything other than tampered dice being found at the tavern. All right, and here we go. Here is our town. It's still carrying on. The calendar is being built. And we've got the mission. We've got to have 1,000 units of food stored away within 44 weeks. Okay, so let's just quickly increase the speed just so we can see. Okay, the calendar has been built. Has it? No, it's still being built. The forum squares over there have been built. Okay, guys are standing around, just kind of talking, doing their thing, having discussions in the forum. Some people are moving around. Really, absolutely, absolutely lovely. Okay. And the locals are just kind of chilling in their little village. We can click on them and it says, oh, there we go. At last, a calendar has been set up in the city. Now the inhabitants know when to celebrate their birthdays. Your reputation increases by 1 point. Yay. Okay. If we click on the locals here, it says, you already receive our weekly tributes in exchange for the land of our ancestors. And yet you ask again what more we can give you? We have lost everything of value or have given it all to you. We earnestly beg you not to take the land from us. This, of course, gives us the option to drive out the locals. We're not going to do that. We're going to have them continuing on their ancestral land. This is sacred to them. We're going to leave them to do that. All right, let's see here. Let's have a look for something along the river here. Something important. Any like fishing spots or bridge building spots, anything along those lines. Of course, bridges you would like to build in a shallower area, an area where you can actually like easily build a bridge to get across without needing too many materials. Okay. Oh, I was getting worried there with our income, but I see we get 133 denarii per week and our expenses are 89.5 denarii per week, which is, you know, that's not bad. Really not bad. We can have a look here at income. We can see where we get our money from. We can see where we lose money. So interesting, the slave market is giving us 5 coins, but it's costing us 6.5. So we're losing money with the slave market that we have. Wood production is costing us 31.3. Okay. And do we have, there we go, personal weekly salary, 3 denarii. Okay. Great stuff. At least we are still making money, and that is the important thing. It means that we are not in the pound seat, we are in the denarii seat. How's our food production looking? Currently not producing anything, but we are using 9. Okay, now let's see. Can we produce anything else? We can have a fisherman's hut. It's only going to cost us 5 denarii per week. So we can afford this. And we can build it right over here. because this is where there is ample fish. Unfortunately, the thing is, it's right here in this protected area, which I don't really want to build in. Isn't there any other place where there were fish? Any other fish population? So I don't want to hamper the conservation of this area, really, if I can help it. I also do need the fish. Catch 22. I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. And there we go. Snow is falling. We're in the middle of winter. Now, this is going to be difficult, getting to 1,000 units of food in 37 weeks. We are most likely going to fail that mission. I would have liked to actually not fail it, but yeah, we may be failing it. Okay. In any case, I didn't want to build here because, well, this is the floodplain. We don't want to build there. Okay, I guess it's unavoidable. We are going to have to come to some kind of compromise here. We are going to put up one fisherman's hut. I was going to, if this wasn't the conservation area, I was going to put up 2 fisherman's huts. We're just going to put up one right over here. And we are going to just build a road straight to this side. We're not going to have anything else being built in this area. Unfortunately, the road being built is going to take away some of the trees. Unfortunately, that will be the case. Okay, it's mostly taking away trees in this area. So this area still has its trees. Great, 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 great. Okay. I would also like to then just build another small horium right over here. Right over there. That, I think, will mean that we need another scriptorium. Oh, you see, this one was built the wrong way around. Yes, okay. Sorry, little one. There we go, okay. We're going to need... There we go, now it's looking nice there. And we're going to build another one over there. And you know what? Another one over there. Good stuff. For 33 weeks, we need 751 more food. Woohoo! It's going to be tight. It is going to be tight. Hopefully now, we've got the fisherman's hut here. It's going to give us a bit of food. A bit more food. Hopefully, hopefully, hopefully. Especially with the thingamajig, the food storage being right over there. Okay, we can, and we will, in a moment, select the target where it takes its fish. And it's going to be this little food storage right over here. This small horium right over here. That's where I want it to deliver the food. So it can quickly, hopefully quickly fill it up. Oh, there we go. Food going. Apparently it is taking some fish away. Where are you taking it? Probably quite far. Probably, because this horium is not built yet. No. It's probably taking it somewhere to the horium over there, or horia over there. There we go. Now this horium is built. Are you going to turn around? No, you're not. Okay, take it to the horium right over there, please. Once you have the time. Alright, now, the oxen and so do travel faster on the trade routes than they do on the normal gravel roads and the city roads. So, yeah, if I wanted to, I would have built this area. I can build this area with the trade route as well, the trade road. Also, this area, I can build the trade roads. They do cost a bit more, but it is useful if you want to start getting your resources more quickly. You can see there, just this section cost us about 400 denarii. It's quite expensive. Quite expensive. Okay, how are the people looking? 117 of 117 spaces actually filled. Great stuff. Wunderbar. Now we can, if we wanted to, we could build some better houses. We can build the simple houses, which can accommodate more people. It's a peregrini. It's the next class of person that we are getting. And by building that, we are using the bricks. I don't really want to use the bricks yet. I want to keep the bricks for now because we can't make any more bricks. We need to get across to this side if we want to actually make any more bricks. And for that, we need quite a bit more wood. Okay, how's our wood storage looking here? Yeah, it's only 28%. It's still quite a while to go. Let's see, can I build a bridge yet? Build bridge? No bridge is discovered here. Listen here, have you not scanned over here to find out we can build a bridge? Oh, scan here. Because I'm sure we should be able to build a bridge over here. if you do click on build bridge, it will tell you, okay, here you can build a bridge, there you can build a bridge. It's a nice area where you can actually build a bridge. It's a shallow area. You can kind of see there the rapids. Yeah, this is a nice shallow area. You can put some nice pillars down there. Should be able to build. In our river here, surely we should be able to build. Yeah, this is a small, a narrow section. Technically, we could build here. Oh, I don't really want to build here. This is part of our wetland conservation area. Okay, come on. Our little surveyor guy. There we go. There's a bridge spot right there. I knew it had to be around here somewhere. Okay, thank you. Let's see. What do we need to build a bridge? We have to build a wood bridge. We cannot build a stone bridge. We don't have enough bricks. We need 300 wood stored away. We've got 267 as it stands. Okay, so we're not ready yet. Definitely not ready yet to build that. It's going to take a while before they actually have got enough wood stored away. In the meantime, let us actually, because we do have the potential to get slaves, let us buy 2. I think let's get 2, because we can now get, oh, technically we can build the round temple. I don't think we should. That takes way too much to build. Let's get a small Gallo-Roman temple. Now, it's going to immediately use up 98 of the wood we need in order to actually build the bridge. Man, to build this or not to build this. So, with a small Gallo-Roman temple, like this one over here, it gives you one of the... I think it gives you the option between some of the Gaulish or some of the more traditional gods, or one of the Roman pantheon that you can choose. So there are a bunch that you can choose from, and some of them will give you decreased building costs, some of them will give you increased agriculture, more food production, things like that. So it's quite useful to build, but in order to actually build it properly and have a festival, you need food, and it's going to definitely result in us not having enough food. You know what, I don't think we're going to have enough food being produced in any case. Quite sad. I would have liked to actually, with our little plot over here, have enough food being produced. We're getting about 50 a week. 50 a week, which should give us, in, let's say, half the time, 500. Oh, it's just not going to be enough. Oh, man. I was really hoping we would get to the 1,000. Let's see, let's see. So I'm not going to build that temple yet. I'm just going to build... Well, I'm going to build it. I'm just not going to actually dedicate it to a god yet. Okay, so let's see. The one, yeah, the temple entrance is to this side. Let's just quickly build that over there. All right, so it's quite cool. I really love this idea of, it's quite a peaceful city builder. There are, later on, you can technically see, I think, some legionnaires and maybe some Praetorian guards, but you don't build up an army. You don't go and fight anyone. There's no invasion. Not yet, at least. Maybe in future, Roger will bring that in, maybe with a DLC, like eventually, when he's had to learn how to build the game from scratch. And this is already a massive, massive achievement. And yeah, so combat would be a different beast altogether to try and bring into this game. And I like the fact that we're just trying to build a nice little settlement. That's, for all intents and purposes, all we want. Now, what we can in the meantime do is quickly check our salary. Okay, we can actually apply for more funds. We can try to have our salary increased. Oh, okay. How much extra money? Oh, you know what? I don't really want to take too much of our money here. But I would like to build up my personal wealth, you see. We can afford to lose a bit more. That's fine. Let's do that. Let's try, or apply at least, to increase our money. Let's go, instead of the maximum of 15, let's take 10 denarii per week. And we'll apply, and then we'll probably have to bribe someone again to try and get it through so that our application is approved. Soon we're going to have a guy saying, yes, you know, give me some money and maybe I will see to it that Rome looks upon you favorably. In the meantime, let us just build some more houses over here. How about this one over here? Oh, there we go. First religious building has been erected in your settlement. Congratulations, people in the province are already talking about your achievements. Your reputation increases by 1 point. Reputation, really great, really great. Love it. Okay, so we're going to put that down there. And we are going to plop down, I think, you know what, another one like that. And then we are just going to plop down a proper draw well. Oh, wait a minute. These guys already have got water from the wells on the other side. That's perfect. We don't have to worry. But what we can do is we can try to increase our gardens. 7 by 2. This will help bring in quite a bit of food. This will help bring in quite a bit of food. There we go. Asking for money, you know. 8 denarii. Ah, rejects the offer as inappropriate. Greedy bugger. Okay, fine. Fine. Be like such. We're just going to build our gardens, okay? We don't need your money to build our gardens. We are happy and content, and we've got our gardens. Naughty, naughty governor. All right, so hopefully this will also help increase our food production a bit, which will be absolutely marvelous. We have got 12 weeks left. Oh, you know what? We're actually right in the middle of summer. We've got great food production happening. Yeah, wow. 107 food being produced in a week. And now, immediately going up to 118 with some of our farms here. It should go up a little bit more, maybe 125, I think. Maybe? Yeah, it should go up to 125 soon. Let's see, when these two are built, it should hit about 125 food per week. And that is great. Our storehouses are only about 2/3 full, though. There we go, 124. Close enough. 124 food per week. That is marvelous. This little guy, fisherman, is just catching fish. So how is he catching fish? Let's have a look. Can we see? Now, we can't actually see him catching his fish. Now, of course, the Romans, I think they most likely used nets. I don't think they used a lot of fish traps. May have. Let's see. Ooh, let's have a look here. What can we see on the dock, though? We do see, okay, some crates. Obviously, those were used to actually store the fish in or transport the fish. There we go, nets, of course. Nets were being used, I mean, in Roman times. And before that, you had a little boat. You went out with your net and you caught a lot of fish. Hopefully, caught a bunch of fish. Yeah. Okay. So mostly catching with nets. There we go. We have 1,200 food stored away. Oh, brilliant. And we've got 9 weeks left to do that mission. Perfect. Okay, we've got 13 of 13 scriptorii. In terms of money, we've got a bit of more money coming in. These guys, ooh, how's the market looking? We're going to have a maximum of 147 people coming in, and the market can accommodate 165. Okay, so the market space is still big enough. We're going to expand this later. What's great, though, is later on, you can actually place down, but you need Peregrini. You need 25 Peregrini in order to do that. You can place down bigger market buildings, which is really great. Accommodates more people, looks more sophisticated than your normal little market stalls that we've got here. As your city progresses, you get all these amazing things that you unlock, that you can start building, which is really, really great. We're just waiting 7 more wood, and we can at least build a bridge over to this side. And then we need 300 more wood to build bridge over to this side. It's going to take a while for us to get to this side, but once we do, we've got access to our bricks over there. So let's just speed time up a bit, and then we'll have a look. So the clay that we can get to over here, though, it's right next to the river, which makes sense. This is, I think, part of the floodplain. Yeah, there we go, flood warning. So what happens is clay is a very small sedimentary particles. Sand is much coarser. When water slows down, the finer particles start being settled or start settling out. So what you've got when there are floods, there's water coming into this area, it starts slowing down and it deposits a bunch of clay, a bunch of silt, your finer swirl particles. There we go. Brilliant. Oh my, you really have more than 1,000 units of food stored. Now we feel much safer again. Thank you. As a sign of our gratitude, we give you 100 bricks. Your reputation in the settlement also rises. Oh, that's brilliant. I've never actually been able to accomplish that I actually have got the enough food stored away. Okay, now that we've got that stored away, let us start actually first build a bridge. Let's build a bridge right over here. We're going to build a wooden bridge. Okay, And then what we're also going to do is we're going to take this the Gallo-Roman temple. There we go. And we are going to select a deity. Oh yes, the Gallo-Roman one, we can just choose one of the Gallic or Celtic gods. We don't get to choose one of the Roman pantheon. With the next one, which is the large Gallo-Roman temple, I think there. Oh no. The Roman round temple, I think. There we get to choose one of the... Oh, the Gallo-Roman, the large one. You get to choose either one of the Gallic or Celtic gods or one of the Roman pantheon. Okay, but we're going to select a deity. I would like, just for food security, I would like to have more food production. So we can, if we wanted to, we can just go and just dedicate this temple to Secelis, which is the Celtic god of the harvest. And it's going to give us plus 4% food production. Great. Or we can have a festival. It uses 400 food. We've got 1,000 something stored away, more than enough. Instead of 4% increase in agriculture, we've got 7% increase in agriculture. So inspired by the god, the people harvest more from the farms and gardens in the city. So not just big farms, actually the small little urban gardens also harvest more food. And at the same time, we get 3 prestige as well. So this is what I was waiting for. I wanted to first get that one quest done so that I can spend 400 food without worry. And we're going to dedicate the temple to Secelis. And we're going to get a nice increase in, and there we go. Woo! People are celebrating in the background there. We're going to get a nice boost in our food production in the city. Okay, so if we had dedicated it to Eucrates, we would have had 8% or 10% less building material needed for buildings, which is also quite good. But we would have used up 800 food for that. Or if we had gone for Glanos, we would have had an increase in the well radius, either plus 4 or plus 6 for each of the wells. And again, prestige, but 650 food being utilized. So, yeah. But we've got a little temple here, and now our food production should go up. It was 125. Now, we are winding down. Okay, so don't worry about the fact that it's gone down. We are winding down. We are in autumn. Things are starting to cool down. Most of the harvest by this time would also have been gathered. There are a few late crops you would be gathering in autumn, heading into winter. But with snow being expected in this area, look at that guy just kind of looking out over the fields, going, yes, so please harvest more food. What have you got with you? You've got... Oh, you're just like overseeing everything. He's like, yep. Good job. I've got my notebook here. I've got a chair. I can sit down if I want to. It's quite fun. But yeah, so winding down into winter, a lot of crops won't survive. I mean, crops that we have, many of them, except for like the fruit trees and things like asparagus, many of them are annuals. They live a year or one growing season, and then they die. And so a lot of them die off here as we start heading into winter. And yeah. Oh, look, I think the bridge almost done. Not quite yet, not quite done, but almost. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have the road extending down onto it. And as soon as we can, our land surveyor will cross the bridge and start just walking around here, finding, as my chair squeaks again, finding another spot to build a bridge. This looks like a good spot. There are some shallowish areas over here. I'm going to just get him to come and walk over to this side. Just tell us, yes, we can build a bridge over here. And then when we've got 300 more wood, we can actually build a bridge over here. And we can then finally start getting some bricks. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, we are going to have to build the brick area. There we go. Bridge and fish also in this area. Unfortunately, the fish also kind of in the flood area. The only way we're going to get bricks is if we actually build that over there. Which I don't really want to, but we're going to have to, I'm afraid. Right on the edge here, I'm going to build my brick production. Okay, so what we don't have yet is marble. Now, there should be a site to get marble. It may be on this side. There may be a marble mine over here somewhere. There usually is a marble mine. I don't think I've seen a map that doesn't have a marble mine. Maybe that's actually over here. So let's get Vitellius over here, or whatever our land surveyor is. Let's get him to walk over there and have a look and see what's going on over there. Okay, he's just kind of walking along. Okay, 173 wood. Yeah, wood production. Why is the wood production slow down? It doesn't say it's got any wood being produced, but I think there is some production happening. Because there's wood being transported by the oxen over there. Alright. Beasts of burden like oxen were really, really useful, especially in Roman times, in the older age, obviously before cars would have been very, very important. Now these guys are busy. 18% full. Should soon be taking some wood over to our warehouse over here. I'm pretty sure we've got food being stored. It's fine. It's fine. No bricks being used. No. Food and money still coming in. Yeah, coming in like it's going out of fashion. Alright, now soon we are going to start building just some fancier houses over here. But we need to entertain them. We need to give them something that they go, wow, this is great. Oh, this large arena takes 50 denarii per week. That's a bit excessive. Yeah, you know what? We're just going to build him a small wooden arena. Oh, found a place that can be used as a water source. Great, so we can build an aqueduct from over here. Not what I was looking for, Vitellius. I was looking for marble, but water, that's always useful. Maybe he gets the marble over here because there's lots of things happening over here, it seems. We've got an iron mine. We've got... Nope, no marble over there. We've got a water source over there. Okay, the border goes along there, so it's not going to be here. Watch how it actually is. No, he's already surveyed this area. Ah. It may be on this side of the riverbank. I'm hoping it isn't. I'm hoping it isn't actually over there. No, I don't think that's a marble mine. Alright, we'll have our little land surveyor later on. We don't need marble yet. We're going to have him looking around for it. That's the village. Nothing over there. Let's have him just surveying this area over here. Let's survey this area. Alright. Now, what is next? What is next? We need, again, 300 wood. Then we can build a second bridge. Then we can get bricks. And then we can start building some bigger... Oh yes, this is what I was building. Then we can get some better houses and stuff like that being built. Now, we were going to build a little arena. We're just going to go for the small wooden arena. We're not going to go for anything fancy yet. We're just going to have a small arena. We're just going to have that. And of course, we're going to have a little gravel dirt or a little dirt road extending off over here. And we're just going to plop that along over here. Have that extending over there and there. Okay. We're going to have some nice things built on this side as well. It's outside of our city borders. Maybe this, we can actually build a little house over here and have some extra crop plots over there. That could work. That could very well work. Let's see. A simple house. 4x3, maybe? No, we can't do that. We can build it like this. Yeah. Alright, let's see. Entertainment has come to your city. Thanks to you, the inhabitants no longer have to pass their time with illegal dice games in back rooms. By building the first entertainment facility, your reputation increases by 2 points. There are lots of things you can do to increase your reputation, just slowly but surely. Okay, we're first just going to quickly build a... but let's build a city street because this is going to be forming part of the city. And then we're going to have a little house. A strip house. Oh, I was going to build a city house, wasn't I? A simple house, sorry. There we go. 4x3, that's what I was going to build. You know what? Yeah, let's have that, shall we? And then, instead of building for food, let's actually build a nice... that is for food. This gives us money. A little bit of extra income tax, in essence, we can get here. Let's get that. 2 little back houses gives us a bit more extra money. And what we're going to have here is we're going to leave this as a bit of greenery. We're going to leave this as part of our ecological corridor. So the gardens over here, even though gardens will have less diversity than natural areas, there will still be insects moving along here. Pollinators and even things we consider pests, for example, mozzies, mosquitoes and flies and stuff like that. All very important in nature. They will be moving through the garden here. And if we just build this area up, it's going to be more difficult for them to actually move between our landscape here. Currently, they can move along here, nice bit of greenery, bit of farms over here. They can hop through here, come along here, and then out to this side. If we just build this up, it's going to be more difficult for creatures to move along. So we're going to leave this as a designated green space. Will is not allowed to build there. Any building I do plop down here, whenever I remember, I've got to take it down. No building allowed there, no building allowed here either. Okay, bit of green space. Very, very important. Now we are going to just expand our little arena here with some sunshades. Increases the satisfaction by 1. So soon we're going to have our first Peregrini moving into our town, which is going to be marvelous. Okay, our wood production is quite low at the moment. We are going to have to wait for 300 wood again. Man. Okay, 24 wood being produced per week. That's not bad. That's income 170. Marvelous. Okay, bit of balancing of finances, balancing of resources here. I love the fact that the trade route over here, the trade road, makes all the oxen travel quite fast. You can see here, things travel fast, and then they go slowly. And then they hit this road again, and they go, okay, vroom. Look at that horse, look at that horse. That horse is amazing. And it's nice and slow, and it's like, okay. Yeah, off we go again. Lovely. And then they hit this little, okay, slow down once more. The Romans really built amazing roads. I think part of the reason why they were so, well, the roads healed themselves or repaired themselves, which is like for a South African, that would be amazing because, oh, we've got so many potholes in our roads, it's not even funny. But part of the reason why, I believe, as far as I recall, part of the secret ingredient of Roman concrete was actually like calcium carbonate, limestone, crushed up seashells in essence, that were being used. And as rain comes in, it kind of dissolves it and it kind of reseals the surface. So it was basically, it had roads that sealed itself. Brilliant. Or healed itself. So you can see it can build for 2 denarii. We can build a sidewalk over there. We're not going to do that here. I would like to, I don't know whether it does anything really. Let's build just across this one here. Just going to build a sidewalk over there. And we're going to build a sidewalk over there and build a sidewalk over here. Not sure what it does or whether it does anything aesthetically or not. I'm not sure whether it is. I think it is actually finished now. I think that is the sidewalk that we have now built there. Okay, well, nonetheless, we've got sidewalks over there for what it's worth. These guys are happy. How are these guys doing? Oh, no water supply. Oh, near. Oh, no. Nobody's going to move in if there's no water. So let us get a nice draw well. That should supply them with water. That's going to be marvelous. Okay, now, these guys need extra things. So you can see here, first of all, there's enough empty graves. That's good. There's enough market space. They are connected to a road. It is a city street that I have built specifically for them. And it is also, but it isn't one of the main roads. One of the Ricardo Maximum or the Decumanus Maximum, or Maximus. Okay, so it's not a main road, so we don't get that extra bonus there. It's within a certain radius of the altar. Perfect. But they need extra things. They need an arena, which they now have. They need more religion. So 10 out of 15 for religion. We don't have a theater yet. And we don't have a restaurant for them either. And that is something to perhaps consider. Restaurant. A taberna. Basically a tavern. We can build that. I think let's build that over here. There we go. If we build it here though, it is going to increase their happiness properly. You can see it's within the green circle. If we build it there, oh, it's inside the orange circle, which means they don't get the full benefit of it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to increase our city street just along there, and we're going to build basically a tavern. The entertainment, restaurant, taberna. Okay, that is going to be right over here. Flop it down, and now hopefully they will be nice and happy. That's within the green circle. And if, their satisfaction already 83%. That's not bad. If it increases more, we're going to have people moving in more quickly. We can have 12 people living in this house, which is going to give us a nice tax boost. We're almost on 300 wood, which means we can almost build another bridge. So let's just get ready to build a bridge. Oh, a bridge monument we can also build. Oh, I think I have already built the bridge monument now. Okay. Okay, build bridge. As soon as we hit 300 wood, we're going to build the bridge right over here. Because it's a nice straight line down from the road to the across the bridge down to this trade route down here. Okay, there we go. A wooden bridge being built. And let us just, you know what? We've got enough money. Money is not a problem for our Roman settlement over here. We can just plop down a nice trade route over here. So the oxen can come along quite nice and fast. Okay, let's actually also still... Well, you know what? We spent 400 there. We've got a bit more to spare. Actually, let's just do it up to here. There we go. 2,100. Our money should now be rolling in with the Peregrini. The first Peregrini has also come in. Of the 12 we can have in this basic house here, or the simple house, we've got one already and it's paying 2.5 taxes. And the little houses in the back here, 3.9 from each of them. So 7.8 denarii per week just from these two little small houses in the back here. So that's marvelous. Yeah, this one, yeah, we've got 148 inhabitants and 150 seats. So currently everybody in the town can actually come and visit the arena. But the moment we now go across 150, yeah, so we're on 149. Once we get to 151, not everybody can actually attend the little battles we're having here, or the practice battles we've got with our little gladiators over here. They can actually hire gladiator troops to actually come and entertain your city. And during a certain month, for example, have a little bit of a tournament going, which is really great, really awesome. You can get a theater group to come and perform in your theater if you've got that. To the theater we shall go. All right. Now let's see. Bridge still being constructed. You can see a quite nice bunch of posts being constructed over there. Not done yet. No, it has to still get a nice surface. So lots of logs would have then been filled in. There we go. With some smaller branches and eventually a nice paved surface. Kind of a paved surface on top. Okay, Mr. Land Surveyor, you must come to this side, please. Once this bridge is built, I want you to discover the clay site over there. Okay. Bridge. I think the bridge is built. No, not yet. There are still some supports over there. Oh, the supports are also here. Interesting. Okay. Now, what we can also build are some decorations. I like some decorations. I don't see any extra things here yet. I would like actually to build a statue. I really thought we had statues we could place here. I know there are some statues, but I don't know where they are. I don't know. Anyway, Mr. Land Surveyor, come and discover our brick site over here. Thank you. Off he goes. Okay. Our town is coming along nicely. So you see now we've got too few seats with this one little arena, and I think it's going to impact the happiness we get from our arena. So, well, not yet. It's still 16 out of 15, so that's still fine. The restaurant gives us a nice bunch of nice bonus as well by actually fulfilling the requirement. I think we can actually afford, almost afford to have more Peregrini move in. Okay, here comes our land surveyor. Running, and found a nice brick site. Thank you. A dried up riverbed. It's not really a dried up riverbed though. It is just an area that has a bunch of clay that has been deposited. Where's our... Oh, yes, I need to actually... There we go. Now I can see where the border of our colony is, our colonia. We cannot expand the colonia area. We cannot build in this area up there. We really are confined to the borders here. I am still looking to see if I can perhaps find a marble mine. Honestly, don't know where that is. Don't think it's here. Don't think it's here either. Maybe this map does not have a marble site. Or maybe it is on this side. Probably on that side. Okay, nothing on this side. And the last spot on this side of the river. And then you can start surveying over there. Food production. We can actually start storing more food. How much do we need? We need more peregrini in order for us to actually have a large horium. Let's just... Oh, it really needs some... You tend to actually get it to stop squeaking. Let's have a look here. In terms of brick production, we can plop down the clay mine logistics center over here. Okay. Money, yeah, we're getting 67 money denarii more per week than we are spending. Okay. And we plop it down. Come on. There we go. Okay, we need wood. Oh, we need 10 slaves in order to do this. Okay, so we can't do this yet. We need 10 slaves. So what we're going to do... How many slaves can we keep? 4 at the moment. We need to expand our enclosures at the back there. I think this one, the big one, yeah, there we go. I think let's expand it that way. And then once that is built, we can actually get a clay mine. So of course, whenever the Romans did take slaves, a lot of the work they did would have been menial labor or manual labor. Mining, all those types of things, that's what they would have done, a lot of. So, you know, you would have a whole bunch of people working in the fields, you'd have a whole bunch of people mining clay, making bricks, mining marble as well. Any of those manual tasks, you would have gotten other people to do that. Okay. And of course, slaves could also have been gladiators and those types of things as well. For performance, would also have been an invaluable resource. Let's see here. I think city is coming along nicely. How much does it cost to actually make a simple house? Oh, not enough scriptoria. Oh, is that so? How many do I need? 6 more. Goodness gracious me. I can't build the big ones yet. I need 75 peregrini. Oh my word. Okay, okay, fine. Let's see. Which one will slot in nicely there? This one. Okay, so we're going to have... Let me just double check. It is this one. Yeah, it's one on the end there. Okay, so we're going to have 1. And then we are going to have this one. This one. And I think then this will need to slot in like that and that. Okay, that's going to be 5. We're going to wait for them to be built. And then we're going to increase. Actually, we can build 1 more on this side. Then we'll have enough scriptoria. Okay, I can't wait to get the bigger forum buildings. Soon we will. It is a bit of a juggling act because in the past, my towns, my settlements, oh my word, it's run out of wood, it's run out of bricks, and then it takes a long time to actually get anything up and running again. Sure, you can request extra wood, but that is at the expense of your reputation. So you don't necessarily want to have that. Let's see, I don't think I can actually ask for another donation. Oh, I can. Okay, I can ask. You know what? Let's apply again. I would like to, please, give me more money. Give me money. Money, please. And let's see. We're going to, again, just try to bribe lightly. Not going to spend too much money bribing a guy. Okay, I need 3,600 personal wealth, though, to run for a deal. Add a lot more reputation. Oh, no, I've got enough reputation. Okay, that's cool. I've got enough reputation. Right, and I think, yeah, enough scriptoria, so I can now get ahead of the curve by actually trying to see, is this the one? This is not the one I want to build. I want to build, no? Huh. I really thought I could build one of these two. Oh, this one fits in like that. Oh, I don't want that. Oh my word. Okay, it's not looking nice. Okay, there we go. You know what? Let's take a knock to our reputation and ensure that we get money back. There we go. So this is kind of like a dead end for us here. Well, this kind of sucks. Let's make it a dead end then, shall we? There we go. Plop down that one there. I really thought we could actually turn it around to this side, but I can't actually mirror that building over there. Okay, but we're going to have one scriptorium more than is needed. Have we got? I think we've got our clay logistics center. Oh, no, we need slaves. That's why we haven't built it yet. We need slaves. Okay, so we can have 19. We're just going to get 10 exactly, and then immediately put them to work. Immediately. To get our clay production up. Our brick production. Right over here. Got enough of everything. We can build that. Now, clay pit here. We'll see soon enough how much these things take. Because they're going to cost a lot of money. And currently our expenses. Our expenses are very close to our income. Which is not great. So, before we get the brick production up and running, I think it's time for us to get more simple houses up. Okay, so let's see, what have we got? This one will accommodate 15 people. This one, 12, 9, 6, 10, 8, 6, 6. Okay. These ones, 16. It's a corner one. It makes sense, you know. It's a corner. Well, let's plop it down in this corner over here. Okay, and then we'll put some wells down as well. Well. Let's put that over here. Yeah, over there. Then we'll place another big house down. This one accommodates 18 people for this one. Yeah. I think another 18 over there. And just for good measure, get another well sorted here. Okay, great stuff. Now, as they come in, they're going to give us more money, which is great. Let's see, I can place a garden over here and another garden over here. And I'm going to just get a little side business going on the back here. Go like that. And over here as well. And I think over here as well. A little bit of like a strip mall in essence, going Roman style at the back here. It's going to also hopefully increase our income because we need to really increase it quite a bit. We're barely, like I say barely, we're like 36 denarii a week. We're getting more than we are spending. And our coffers are looking quite good there. Our money in the bank is looking quite good. But I would like to have a bit more up and running. Oh, by the way, how is our graveyard looking? We can get wailing women. May as well get them. You know, a funeral procession coming past every now and again. Oh, only half the graves used. Huh, that's cool. Oh, I don't think I can actually destroy this. No, once the spire is built, it is built. Ooh. Yeah, that was kind of an oopsie, having two of them built there. But that's all right. You know what? It's for aesthetics. Oh, winter's rolling around. Food production will be low, but we've got so much food stored away. It's not even funny. Okay, in terms of our necropolis, let us, in the meantime, continue expanding our graves just so we never, ever run out of grave sites. Okay, it looks like some of the trees here are being cut down, but not in the riparian zone yet, which is good. I don't want the riparian zone disappearing. Let's now quickly have a look at brick production, because in order to make bricks, you need clay. Ooh. Let's see. Lord, we, the inhabitants of the city, have come together and wish to engage in more trade. For this, however, we need a basilica. Therefore, we kindly ask you to build a basilica within the next 50 weeks. We would be deeply grateful for your support. Ah, marvelous. So we've got a year to build a basilica. And we'll get back to the bricks now. Don't worry, we will definitely get back to there. Now, I think the basilica, there we go, is right over here. We've got everything we need. We may as well build this. It reduces corruption by 12. Oh my word, we need a lot of space for this. You know what, we're going to build that over here. It's a big admin building. Wow. Okay, it only costs us 15 denarii a week. This is fine. Yeah, plop it down. Build this massive basilica. It's fine. The forum is increasing. Okay, so let's talk about the clay over here. Bricks. So the reason you need clay is because sand doesn't hold structure well. Clay, on the other hand, and silt will hold structure much better. clay in particular, especially if you have what we call a 2-to-1 clay. That's a type of clay that swells and shrinks quite badly. Our house, the house I grew up in, like when I was a kid, it was built on 2-to-1 clay, and my word, later on you could watch the tennis match being played on the tennis courts next door from the school's tennis courts through the cracks in the walls, because we had cracks this size. You could stand there and look at what's going on next door through the cracks. It was hectic. It was bad. But that's because whenever it gets wet, the clay swells, and whenever it dries out, it shrinks. And the house did that. The foundation did that. Not great to build on that. But great to actually build bricks with, because it's nice and holds structure quite nicely. Absolutely brilliant. So we need bricks, or we need clay in order to actually make bricks. So that's exactly what we've got over here now. Now, what we need in order to continue with the production of bricks, we need to build clay pits. And let's see, this one costs 1 per week, but gives us 4 clay, I guess, per week. This one costs 4, but gives us 12. So it's 4 times the cost for 3 times the production. This one costs 10. It's 10 times the cost to produce 10 times as much. This may be the best one to go for. It does need 5 slaves. This one needs 2, and this one needs 1. Okay, so this automatically will cost us 10 denarii per week. That's just to get the clay out. Now you need to take the clay and you need to put it in a mold. Usually the mold is made with wood, a little wooden structure, little box. Basically, you pack the clay in there, you push it down, usually with like another wooden block that gets pushed down on it, and then you remove the mold, and there's your brick. Now you need to let it dry, and then you need to bake it. And we'll get to that in a moment. We do need, however, how many people can we have? 147 plus 64, that is 211. 211. And how much can we accommodate here? Oh, 167. Okay, so we need a bit more. Can we perhaps build? Oh, not yet. Oh, we're getting there. We can almost build the big market stalls. So we'll just carry on making these small market stalls for now. A little bustling market over here. And then once we have 25 Peregrini, we can actually start building the big market over here. That'll be marvelous. Okay. So once you've got the bricks being pushed down and the mold removed, you can then dry it, and then you need to bake it in order to actually make it set. And then you can use it as a brick, or as bricks. Okay, so let's see. This clay pit will cost us 10. Okay. I don't know how much this clay logistics center it costs us 7. Okay, so 7 plus 10, that's going to be 17 per week. And that's plus 23 for the brick production. That's 40 denarii per week. And then to bake it, you need another 12 denarii. So that's 52 denarii per week. And then you've got a warehouse. So it's 70 denarii per week, at least. 70 denarii. We're not 70 denarii ahead. Once we are at least 70 denarii ahead, then we can look at brick production. For now, however, not ready yet. Not ready for that yet. Food production. 72 being produced. We are just now heading into spring. Food production is starting up again. Oh, you know what? We should be able to actually... Oh, not yet, not yet. We need 100 Peregrini, and then we can have a proper farm being set up. We won't have enough Peregrini to actually start that yet. Not yet, not yet. Okay, I must remember, I'm not allowed to build on this side of this road, really. The warehouse already should actually have been on that side, but I didn't want to infringe on our conservation area. But again, I don't want to build too close to the actual river. Oh, look, suddenly it's summer. That is nice. Oh, it's so pleasant. It really is pleasant. Okay, in terms of career, we need 3,600. Ho, ho, ho. Okay, interesting. By being a key store, we've got our forum altar radius increased by 1. So technically this circle is a little bit larger than it was. I think it is, at least. I think it is. Are you guys happy? Yeah, 100% satisfaction. Brilliant. And this reduces corruption by 12%. Yeah, that's quite good. 2/3 of our food storage is filled. Great. nothing I can say that is, you know, I don't have reason to complain yet, at least. Okay, we can consider also building outside the main green radius into this yellow radius, perhaps build some fancier houses over here. It's outside of the main building area over here. But it may be in our best interest to actually delete some of these houses and build fancier pants houses over here and move some of these Peregrini, or sorry, these Liberty over to the outskirts. We could do that. We can't upgrade, like easily take this house and say like an upgrade button like you can do with Anno, for example. Oh, okay, I must build a Basilica in 35 weeks. That is the Basilica? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I was just like, okay, oh, we need to still build that, but we have already built that. Never mind. Like in Anno, you can take one of these little peasant houses, in essence, and you can upgrade them to the next level. So you would take the strip house here, upgrade to a simple house. Instead of Liberty, you'd have Peregrini living there. In this case, you really need to take that house and delete it and build a new one in its place. A little bit different there. Okay, we've got 3,000 money stored away. What we're going to do is we are going to build a road in here so long. Unfortunately, we're going to have to... I actually don't want to build right next to the river. Will, you're not being conservation orientated. Delete it. Delete that road. We want to build a little bit further away here. There we go. We're going to build over here. This is where we're going to build, Will. This is where we're going to build. Unfortunately, the trees that get bulldozed in the way there. But the riparian vegetation here remains unharmed. Don't want to build next to the river. Like, we're already building in the floodplain, and this is already bad. But there's no way for us to get to the clay pit there without, unfortunately, building through the wetland there. We're not going to build anything there. We're not going to build anything here. I must remember that. Lots to consider if you want to build an eco-friendly Roman village, I guess. Okay. If we just wanted to build, like, there's a lot of land over here. Really, really a lot of land. But building in an environmentally conscious way, not as easy. You can imagine how difficult it is sometimes for me to just build a city builder game or to play a city builder game. I love city builder games, but sometimes I get inside my own mind, which is not great. You know what? We really could expand this perhaps to this side. It's kind of weird, this road going down and up and down. No, we're going to have new road built to this, and then we are going to tear down that road and tear down that road over there. Okay. Oh, these houses. Yeah, no wonder you're just 73 satisfaction. You're not connected to a city road. We need to give you a city road. City street. So we're just going to go like this. Voila. City street. Great stuff. Now you should be happier after that. And if we can give you a theater, that will be marvelous. How much does a theater cost? 35 maintenance a week. Ish. That could be bad. It could be a little bit too much for us. For now, at least. Let's just save the city. We are almost 70 ahead. Which means we can basically start with our brick production. In terms of Peregrini, we're halfway with the amount that's moved in. Literally now halfway. Yeah, you know what? I think we can start with our brick production. Oh, it's a little bit of a lag as we are moving out of the outskirts here. Okay, production. Brick production. Clay pit, this one. Right over here we can build this. Oh, we don't have 5 slaves. Okay, we need 5 slaves and then we can build this. Okay, fine. We will unfortunately have to purchase some. Okay. And then let us build the clay pit over here. Okay. We're just going to have the trade route extending up. Oh, this is a horrible looking road. Let's delete that section there. Okay. Perfecto. Kind of perfecto. And then what we'll have would be the brick production. Need to just remember that's over here. So we've got brick production, nothing built on this side. Nothing built on that side, well, just on this side. We're going to build it right over... Oh, wait, where's the flood? Oh, that's the floodplain. Ooh, we're going to have to build that over here. It's going to have to be built over here. Unfortunately. Slightly in the wetland area, but the majority of the wetland remains unscathed. That's the brick production area. How much area do I need for the... Oh, the kiln can be built here. This is great. Okay, the kiln can be built here. Oh, we need wood being produced and wood being supplied here. Okay, we can get that. Don't worry, we can get that. And then just that over there. The brick warehouse. So now, we need to burn wood in order to actually get the kiln to work. So the only way to do that is to have these guys... drop off some wood. No. I think the warehouse will get to drop off some wood once this building is built here. Once the kiln is built, we'll have them dropping off some wood here. That's what we will do. Okay, just check that I haven't missed any important messages yet. Nothing that I've missed yet, it seems. Not enough scriptoria? Yes, I am aware. I am very well aware. Some clay is being brought here to the production. There we go. Bring over here. Actually, I just want... It's over there. There we go. Okay. So now it's going to start bringing over wood. I think. Let me just check. Here it is zooming. One of these carts will be bringing over wood to our kiln. Okay. How many scriptoria do we need? 2 more scriptoria. Okay. Can we, admin? No, we can't yet. We need 75 Peregrini. Fine. Soon enough. Let us just get like this, I think. Oh, message from Vitruvius. Lord, I suspected that you might not yet be very experienced in city building, so I asked some friends to gift you a few bricks to help you survive. If you are not producing bricks, use them to build a toll house so you can start importing bricks soon. Okay, so that's what the toll house is there for, to actually import things. Okay, the bricks have been dropped off somewhere on the map. Take me there so I can bring them to the warehouse. Thank you, Vitruvius. You naughty guy trying to get your friends to help us. What have you done now? Okay, again, more bricks. Okay. Where are the bricks, though? That's the question now. I don't know. There could be events like that. Somewhere there'll be bricks, somewhere on the map. Let's look for the bricks. I don't see any yet. Watch how it's on this side where I haven't got a road yet. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Vitruvius. Thank you. Oh, there we go. There are the bricks. Quite close to Vitruvius, so you can stop bugging me. Okay, there are some bricks right over there. Oh, it'll be here by the port. Yes, so this is the port. And you can request wood or food. So if you run out of wood or run out of food, you can request it, but it costs you 50 denarii. Yes, thank you. And it will cost you 38 reputation as well. So yeah, quite a lot. Okay, so Vitruvius have gotten the bricks there. Great stuff. Thank you, Vitruvius. My lovely little scout. Where have we not yet looked? This area. Let's have a look. See if there's anything important. Perhaps over here. Okay, Surveyor Man. Go and do your thing. Now, oh, I am... Ooh, okay. I've got 60, literally 60 denarii more coming in than I'm losing. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Not at all bad. Peregrini, can get a few more Peregrini. Okay. It will still come in. How much are these Peregrini paying us? So for the 13 living here, they're paying us about 32.5. Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. We do need another arena though, because you can see here now, we're only getting a bonus of 12 out of 15 for the arena. which is not great. Let's see, this one here is, I guess, a 5x3 house. Let's see if we can build a 5x3 simple house. We've got a 5x2 here. There's a 5x3. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this house and delete it. If I've got enough, yeah, I've got enough material to build. Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this house and break it down, and we're going to have the 5x3 simple house being built here, and this will give us more money than the strip house will do. So this one gives us 15 denarii, whereas one of these, this is 6x3. Where's a 5x3? Yeah, so the 6x3 here gives, because there's for 10 people we already get 25 denarii, whereas for 15 liberty we get 15 taxes. So a lot more tax income with the peregrini than with the liberty. So what we're going to do is we're going to expand our liberty into this area over here. This is where they are going to live mostly. Unfortunately, the restaurant only has a radius up to here, so it's not going to actually influence anybody over here. We'll need to do something about that. What can we do about that? Maybe we can take out a house and build a restaurant in its place. That could work. If we built a restaurant, what do we need? We need more peregrini for the popina. Okay. The taberna can kind of slot in like that. If we kind of were to, if we were to remove this well. Okay, if we were to remove this well, we can build, and this little farm area here, we can build a taberna. Now, this is the problem now. Ecological side of things. If we leave this garden, it can still act as a corridor. If we replace it with a taberna, the people are happy, but nature can't move through here. We've still got that area over there, and we've still got the backyards here that are still doing great and still contributing to being an ecological corridor. These guys aren't happy. We need to get them happy in order for people to actually... Oh, never mind, 86% happy. Getting a restaurant in here would really go a long way. Okay, so this well will cover you. That'll be fine. This well here does not cover you, okay? If I replace this well with a fancy pants well, ooh, with a big draw well, there we go. That should help. It costs more money to maintain this big draw well over here, but it is going to really, really help supply a larger area. What we can then do is we can remove this well and that little farm. We build our taberna. Entertainment, restaurant, taberna. Get everybody, all the peregrini in this area. Okay, we'll see now. We'll get everybody in this area supplied with a restaurant, which makes them happy. Let's see, we've got a mission success again. Lord, we, the inhabitants of the city, are deeply grateful to you for constructing a basilica. Now we can receive our business partners in a representative place and establish successful trade relations. Besides the fact that your reputation increases, we also present you with 50 bricks as a token of our gratitude. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Okay. Now, I can increase our settlement over here. Our liberty that are staying over here. That they can come in a little bit more. Okay, so let's increase. Let's put in some strip houses. Sounds bad, like a strip house. Like, yeah, what are you building over here, Will? What are you building? A strip house, you say? That's not a good thing to build. But nonetheless, we are building strip houses on the city streets here. Let's increase the range, or more city streets to this side. And of course, because we are building little strip houses here, we are also going to be building some gardens. Because why not have a few gardens? Now, we do need water. Oh wait, this one supplies all the way over here. We won't supply that one there. I think let's go for the big one, because we are going to supply a large area with this. Yeah, let's do that. This house should be supplied with this one over here. This house is supplied, and this one will be supplied by that well over there. But we can have a little garden over there. Let's do that, shall we? Garden, a 4x1, I think, over here will be great. Yes, because then we can also kind of put a 4x1 over here. And we can put a 7x2 down over here. And a nice 3x2 over here. So a nice little plot associated with this one house, which will increase our food production a bit. Because currently, wow, we are using 21 food already with our bunch of villagers that we've got, our inhabitants of our city. How's the taxes looking? Yeah, quite a lot more coming in than we're losing. That is marvelous. So this one is already bringing in 7.5, already halfway to what a full strip house actually produces in terms of taxes. It's not bad, not that bad at all. We're only 20% full. So yeah, this will still go up quite a bit. Quite a bit. I love the fact that the restaurant there is really helping increase the happiness. There we go. 2.5 denarii per inhabitant. That's what we are getting. Wow. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, we've built 3 strip houses. We've removed one. We're going to remove 2 more, I think. So this one is a 5x3, and this one is a 7x2. Have we got a 7x2 simple house? I don't think so. We've got a 5x2. That means we've got a little area open at the back. Oh, we can have a 2x2 garden at the back there. Increase the diversity. So have a bit more of a corridor again. Okay, so we're going to have a 5x2 house over here. Okay, so that's a 5x2 house. Rotate it. There we go. 5x2 house. And we're going to have a garden. We're going to have a garden, a backyard garden, a 2x2. Okay, we can't have it there. We can only have it with the strip houses. Got a 2x2 garden here. There we go. Little veggie patch. Oh, with trees. Oh, having trees in this urban area is also even more useful than just having veggies. Like just having veggies, yeah, it's good. But having like trees in there would be really, really great. Because obviously trees create shade. Trees keep the area cool. There have been studies done that show that when you've got trees in an area, it decreases the city temperature. Like if you've got trees, a lot of trees planted along the sidewalks, it decreases the average city temperature dramatically. So having trees here makes it nice and cool. Also provides, of course, a lot of shade. Lots of microhabitats also associated with trees. Plus, trees are perennial. Most of them, at least, are perennial. Should be. All of them are perennial. But trees are perennial. They live for more than just 1 year. So these trees here are here for a long period of time. And lots of little microhabitats, small little habitats that are available because of the trees being there. And lots of little invertebrates that can live in association with these trees. More, perhaps, than could live in this area associated with veggies, for example. Okay, so trees, great. Now here we've got 5x3 house, I think it was. Yeah, 15 people staying here. So we are going to delete this, and we're going to get a simple house. A 5x3. We've got a 5x2, a 3x3. There we go, 5x3. There we go, perfect. Okay, some more people in here as well. We've got lots of bricks. We've got quite a bit of wood. We've got a lot of food being produced, and we've got a lot of funds coming in. Yeah, great. Now it is going to take us a while to really get back our funds again now, because we've deleted full houses. And these guys, well, these guys are very happy still, so that's great. Okay, these guys are located on the main city streets. That's good for them. These guys are not, but they're still 119% happy. It's good. It's easier to keep these guys happy than it is to keep these fancy pants Peregrini happy. Okay, so the Liberty, we can push them to the outskirts, and the Peregrini can move into the city center, in essence. Okay, 104. Oh, I think our market. How's the market space looking? Close, 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 close. Okay, we are probably going to have to expand our market soon. But, oh, there we go. I knew we would be able to build this. Okay, so there we go. We can now build our big market entrance right over here. Okay, now it takes a bit of money and it costs a bit of money, but this one building serves 60 residents. And then we can start building or increasing it, making it this long market building. Oh, this is going to be marvelous. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, we are already supplying 270 inhabitants. So we've got 148 perhaps, okay. Plus another 104. That will be 252. Once all the houses are full, 252, and we can supply that and some extra. Oh, that's great. That is really, really quite good. Okay. So I think our settlement is really coming along nicely. But I also think that perhaps that is a good spot to end for tonight, because it is now 8 o'clock, and usually, of course, nowadays, the live streams do run 6 until 8. So I think next Sunday, it's again only going to be me streaming. Nick is now done streaming because we don't know when Wilson is going to arrive. So if Wilson hasn't arrived by next week, Sunday, I will be having a live stream, and it will again be Pax Augusta, I believe. I will let you know in the week as well what I will be streaming, but it will most likely be Pax Augusta. And then, yeah, we'll see from there. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining me on a little city building adventure. If you would like to see a little bit more of this, please do let me know in the comments or in the chat. And then I'll definitely do a follow-up again and perhaps make some extra videos as well. But until next week then, everybody, stay safe, enjoy the rest of your Easter weekend, and I will see you all again next time. Till then,